So we're doing exercise 39. We're going to be calculating spoil, concrete, and the number of bricks needed for a job. So we're combining the work we've done in previous classes. Okay, so the first thing we've got to look at is we need to work out our X factor. So it says calculate the length of X. So it's the width of the footing, so it's 300 minus the 230 for the bricks. So that's going to give us 70. Yeah? We divide that by 2 and it's 35. But overall length we're adding 70. So if we had a plan, if you looked at this plan here and then you're making a new footing plan, I always like to have a little drawing, just a rough one. We're going to be adding 6.37 and plus 0.07. So my new figure is 6.44. And for the width, 3.5 plus 0.07 is going to give me 3.57. So now, with these measurements here, we can go over the page to work out our volume of our spoil. So with, again, because we're going over the page, I just do a quick little sketch and I put in my figures, 6.44 and 3.57. So I'm going to do my length of the footing, A, B, C, D, and A at 6.44, and I'm minusing the width of my footing. If I'm looking in my question, it's 300. So 0.3. I'm going now 3.57 minus 0.3. C is again the same as A. And D, same as B, 3.57 minus 0.3. And we calculate our length of our footing. Okay, so when we look at that, it's going to give us, our figures are 6.14, 3.27, 6.14, 3.27. We add them all up and we get 18.82. Now we've got to do the strip footing first, so it's going to be length times width times the depth. So the length of my footing is 18.82 times the width, we go to our drawing, is 0.3. Now remember, we're doing spoil, so spoil is always from ground level down, so it's going to be 460. So we're timesing it by 0.46. So we'll get a figure of 2.597. Now we've got to remember our spoil for the blob footings. Now, again, length times width times depth times the number of blob footings. So the length is of the actual blob is the width here, 0.3, and it's a square base, so 0.3. The depth is 0.46 because we're doing spoil.
Is it concrete? Or is it spoil?
Spoil,
sorry, yeah.
spoil.
Yeah.
So our spoil, and then we have to look at, in our drawing we just have 3 isolated piers, so we're going to have 3 holes in the ground there. So we're timesing it by 3. Okay, so then we're getting a figure of, it's only a small figure because you're only digging 3 small holes. So we need this figure here, the strip footing now, and we need the blob footing, and we're going to add those two together. So 2.597 plus 0.124, and I'm going to get an answer of 2.721. Now we have to add our bulking factor, so we're going to times that by 1.2 because we have 20% bulking. And our volume for our spoil is 3.265 metres cubed. Now in the question, it's going to say in question B, the cost of removing the spoil at $45 metre cubed, or part thereof of a cubic metre, means we need to round up to the next cubic metre. So that's going to become 4 metres cubed. So the cost of the spoil is just $45 times 4, and I'm going to get an answer of $180. Okay, now we have to do the concrete. We've got our figures pretty well established, so this part's easier. So we've got the volume is just length times width times depth. So our length is 18.82 for our strip footing. We got it up there. Our width stays the same, 0.3. Now this is where our depth is different. It's only 350. We have to go and use our drawings, 0.35. So I get a figure when I do that of 1.976. So I want that figure. Okay, now the number of blobs, the same thing applies. Length times width times depth times the number. So the length of the blob is 0.3 from our drawing, times 0.3, the width, because it's a square base, times the depth, 0.35. Now we only have 3 isolated pairs, so I'm going to get an answer of 0.0945. I need that answer there, and we're going to add those two answers together. So 1.976 plus 0.095, really, if I round that up, and I get an answer of what have I got? Oh, this is 2.07. I didn't round up my one, sorry. 1.08. We're going to add waste, so we get an answer of 2.236 with my waste. I've added there, and I get an order. Now I'm remembering it's concrete. I get an order of 2.4 metres cubed, and the cost of the concrete is $148. I'm going to times it by 2.4, so it's going to give me $355.20. That concrete's cheap on today's price. It's probably $2.50 a cubic metre now. Okay, now we've done the spoil and the concrete. We have to go and do the bricks. That's question E and F. So I'm just going to lift the page up and we're going to look at our bricks. Now, like what I said in before, you need your brickwork plan, your original plan. Some people get mixed up and use the spoil. The footing plan is only for spoil and concrete. Your brickwork plan is go to your original figures, 6.37 and 3.5. Now we're going to do our bricks. So we're doing our intos and overs. So we've got 6.37. So what are we minusing? We're minusing the width of a brick. Okay. 3.5 minus 0.11. 6.37 minus 0.11. 3.5 minus 0.11. We're going to get our length. So when we go here, it's 6.26. 3.39, 6.26, 3.39, and then we add it all up and we should get a figure of 19.3. So that's my length. The area now for the wall, we need the length times the height. So 19.3 is my length. Now I've got to go to my question to work out the height. So if I'm looking in E, it's going to be 516. I need to convert it, 516. So it's going to give me, for the area, I'm going to have a figure of 9.9588. I'm just left it like that. and then I'm going to bring that figure down, and I'm going to times it by 50. I'm bringing that figure down, and I've only got one skin. So I get 497.94 bricks. I'm going to brown that up and make that 498 bricks for my wall. Okay, so now we have to do the courses. Now the formula for that is the height divided by 86. So the height of my wall is 516 millimeters, and I'm going to divide it by 86 millimeters, the height of a brick plus mortar. So 516 divided by 86 will give me 6 courses. So now when we work out our engaged piers, I need 6 times the amount of engaged piers. So all I'm doing is going and adding them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 6 times 12 is going to give you 72. Now my isolated piers, I've got 6 courses. I've only got 3 isolated piers, but I've got double the bricks. So 6 times 3 is going to give me 18, times 2 is 36. So all I'm now needing is to add the bricks up. So it's 498 plus 72 plus the 36 is going to give me 606 bricks. Now in the question it said there's 10% for breakages, so I'm going to times that by 1.1, and I will get an answer of 666 0.6 bricks, so I need to round up, and it's 667 bricks. So that's my order, 667. So the cost of the bricks, it says in the question, the cost of the bricks at $575 per 1,000. So it's 575 per 1,000. So I have to make either that or that out of 1,000. I'm just going to do 667 divided by 1,000. And that gives me 0.667 times 575 equals, that's going to give me $383.52. Now you may get a brick difference, that's okay, just depends where you're rounding up. Okay, thank you.